Have you ever seen faith and action come together to make something happen? Anyways, I am here to ask people, what does this phrase mean to them? Faith without action is dead. What does this mean to them? What does this mean to you? This is the question I'll be asking people on the streets. My name is Abigail, and this is Universal Worship Network. Let's go. So, do you think the religious leaders we have out there, do you think they focus more on faith without talking about putting in work to make sure that their faith works?
I think it's faith. They put faith. They don't put work. It's just faith.
I don't think so. Most of them actually they have the work they are doing, like they went to school, they are learned, and also they have their work. You understand? So they actually combine the two together. They do their work, they believe in God, and they also believe in God. They have faith that God is going to bless the work of their hand, as I've said earlier. So they actually join the two together. They are working, and most of them talk about Pastor Oyedepo now, Bishop Oyedepo, the General Overseer of Winners Chapel. So you all know him to be, I think he's an architect or something. So he has his own work. He has a university. He has a lot of things he's doing. So with that, he believes and he has faith that God is going to bless his work. So I think they are combining the two together.
Okay, I think it depends. So far from where I've been exposed to, there is a balance between faith and work. There's a lot of, now we know that where we are, let's say there are some rules that guide, let's say where we are living currently on earth. For example, I need to take care of my body very well, not to fall sick. So if as a believer I'm reckless in how I'm feeding, taking care of myself, I'm going to fall sick. And so it's not even righteous on my part to say, oh, I'll not take care of my body, and I'll just be saying, oh, I have healing, I trust God, by his stripes I'm healed. Or let's say I'm preparing for a job, I will need to build the skill set that is needed for the job. It's not enough. So I believe it also depends. But so far, like I said, from where I've been exposed to, there is a balance, in faith, knowing that yes, God is very important. We trust in God. We don't trust in our abilities. But it does not mean that you will not go for that certification. It does not mean that you will not go and write the exam, or you will not take care of your health or your finances. You won't be reckless with your finances. So I believe it's I've experienced balance so far.
Yeah, I think yes. The religious leaders out there that are putting more, works on people to have faith instead of trying to let people to believe that they need to put the work as well. I think that is one of the major problems we're having in this country when it comes to religious stuff. They really want us to, have more faith. And honestly, it doesn't work that way. You need to have more of put more of effort, have more of work to do, something doing, and, before you can even come up with that faith. I mean, you can't just, kind of start. You have to start doing something before you can, start having faith on knowing if the thing is going to work or not. So you can't just be like, you're not doing anything and you just want faith to just from nowhere. I mean, from what do you want the faith to do for you, since you have nothing at hand at that very moment? So I think the religious leaders out there are doing that big mistake. So they need to make the two work together and let people understand that the work is more important. And yeah.
The phrase itself, faith without work, comes in two ways. So the first explanation I did might not totally tally with how religious leaders preach faith, because when they preach faith in terms of salvation, and that takes us to another realm. In the case of salvation, faith for salvation does not necessarily mean you have to be working, you have to be a worker in church, be a steward in church before your faith could be steadfast. No, Jesus has come to work out your salvation. So I believe when the religious leaders are preaching faith in terms of what the question you asked, their faith preaching has to do with salvation. That's how we get our faith that is going to lead us to salvation. We are not to do the workings. The workings has been done by Christ. So that's what they preach. But for the first one I answered, faith in that terms has to do we're in a earthly world. There are some stuff that are not salvation based, which is if I'm to, like I said, become a billionaire, I'd have to put in the work to achieve that. So that particular one is different from salvation kind of faith.
Yes, you have to balance. It has to be 50-50. You can't just put 40 and put 60. No, it's not gonna work.
I would say they focus on faith because they are actually using it to, how will I put it, to urge their members, like to encourage them that when you walk, God is going to bless you, and if you believe in God, He's going to surprise you. You see that anything you lay your hands upon will prosper, blah blah blah, so on and so forth.
Of course, but it depends on what you define as success. The most successful men are non-believers. They do not have any faith. They've never even prayed a day in their life, or they don't even exercise faith towards any supreme being or anything. They just apply themselves to hard work, and they are achieving. There are people who are believers and have faith look up to and want to be like. So somebody without faith can actually make more. But it comes with what you desire. It depends on what you decide is success and what gives you satisfaction as a human being.
What does this phrase, faith without works is dead, what does it mean to you?
Faith without work, like it's just like you like trying to work and you're not actually putting faith in it. And also, like an example, it's just like you prepare for an exam. Yeah, and you think you should just example your jam, and you prefer, maybe you want 360, you want something like 300, and you're not putting more effort, you're not putting God first, you're not praying to God, and also you are not trying to do your, like, try to read your books. You are just doing, I'll read tomorrow, procrastinating, I'll read tomorrow, and you're not reading. So it's just like that. You can't you can't pass it. Like, it's
off. Faith without works means when somebody is not acting towards what they want and is expecting a desired result. It's like giving yourself false hope. You want something, but you're not making the right moves to ensure that you can get what you want. So eventually, you are just giving yourself false hope, and eventually you wouldn't get your desired result or whatever it is that your desired outcome that it is that you want.
If you have faith in something, you have to put in the work. That without the work, the faith will be dead. So there's a phrase, Jesus that said it in the Bible? Work out. No, Paul said it. Work out your faith. So if I have faith in something, for example, I'm studying law, and I have faith that this law I'm studying, I want to make use of it. I want to be a big person, a big lawyer with this law I'm studying. I would have to put in the work. And what's the work? The work would be to study properly and not lag in my studies, pay attention and do all the necessary steps needed to achieve that goal. So I'll have kind of link faith without work to it. So if I have faith in something, I have to put in the work and not just believe that yes, I have faith. Miracle won't just happen, and let's say I have faith that yes, I'm going to be a billionaire. If I keep sleeping every day, I won't miraculously become a billionaire overnight. Definitely. So I have to put in the work to achieve that goal.
According to the Bible, we are made to understand that faith is a substance of things hoped for and also an evidence of things not seen. So I'll actually say faith without work is nothing, because you can't just sit at home as a man and expecting manna to fall from heaven. So I'll actually say if you want faith to work, put on more work. Like, you need to work as well and hope in God, believe in God that God is going to bless whatever you are doing. So I think that's what I can say.
Following God's instruction alongside while having faith. I believe sometimes in the place of waiting, there are instructions God will bring our way, even while we trust Him. And so faith without work means, carrying out those instructions, even in place of waiting. God can bring, instruction. For example, maybe while trusting God for healing, God can bring instruction to visit the hospital, visit your doctor. Why doing that? Even though you have faith in God, it does not true that you have faith in God, but it means you're also taking step, obeying the instruction God is bringing your way. So I think, but there are also many areas that we can apply faith without work. Let's say as a student, for example, preparing for exam, while I have faith in God, there's still I have a part to play in reading, in making sure I go for lectures. So while I'm trusting God, it doesn't mean I will not read. I will have to read. I will have to go for the exam, go for tutorial, ask for help if possible. But the main point is that my dependence is on God and not in what I'm doing. So yes.
Progress with just having faith alone when you're not putting in effort to work. Okay, because based on my own experience, I can tell you that I had so much faith at the beginning of the business, but I wasn't really generating any sales until I started putting it to work. Yeah, so it really can't work. The both has to come together. You have to have faith and you also have to put in effort together to make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, make it work.
Okay.
Yeah, that is it.